NCAA college basketball. We're going to the NIT here with Houston taking on Georgia Tech at Georgia Tech. Odds makers have it at 3.5. And I start to break this game down. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Houston here plus the 3.5. I think they match up really well with Georgia Tech. Probably going to go down to the wire. So I'm going to grab the points here in what should be a fantastic basketball game. Houston, I like Kelvin Sampson. They play good defense. They can score. They have a good core of players that returned from last year. And man, they really need a bounce back after losing to Tulane, a team they handled all season, and then they just played one of their worst games of the year, if not their worst game of the year. So I look for them to bounce back from that against Georgia Tech. I'm sure they'll be excited to take on a team from the ACC. Houston on the season. Well, they finished third in the American Conference. They've won 7 of their last 10 games, and they're ranked 24th in the country, averaging 28.1 field goals made per game. Now, they defend from beyond the arc really well. They rank 5th in the country in opponent shooting percentage from distance. Georgia Tech doesn't really shoot the ball from distance all that well. Neither does Houston. They both defend from beyond the arc very well. So, there's no real contrast here. They just kind of match up. Where Houston has a slight advantage, though, is on their two-point shooting, where they average over 52%, and Georgia Tech ranks in the bottom part of NCAA basketball in defending from the inside extended. Let's talk about the Yellow Jackets. Pretty good team, really tough conference, of course. It's the ACC. They've also won 7 of the last 10 games. They allow opponents only 31.8 rebounds per game. That ranks 27th in the country. Again, though, it's about the matchups. I mean, as we go down the stat sheet, yeah, American Conference, ACC, very different. But still, when you look at the personnel and the coaching styles, I really think this game is going to go down to the wire. Let's look at common opponents. It's going to be Tulane, again, that one the team that upset Houston. I'm sure they don't want to talk about them at all. But when we do look at it during the season, Houston beat Tulane by 13 and 18, while Georgia Tech beat them by 8 earlier back in December. So, that's not such a big thing because it's all about the matchups. And what I see here in this game is a really even ball game. I think it's going to be tight throughout. So I'm going to grab the points here with Houston plus 3.5. It's going to be a great game at Georgia Tech, and I wish you guys luck on your picks today.